What's up, guys? Welcome back to our channel. So a few months ago my wife went on deployment, and I knew that whenever she come back, she's gonna need an apartment. So I started searching for somewhere to rent. So I dove into the computer and I started clicking away with hopes of finding an apartment where my wife can be comfortable. So after a few months of my wife bothering me whenever she called, have you found me an apartment? Have you found me an apartment? I decided to jump into Google like crazy. So I started searching around apartment for rent in Virginia. Yes, and so, and then I click on that, and I see all these apartment stuff comes up, right? And then I'm like, oh my Christ, I can't afford anything in Virginia. So I started doing some filters. So let's say price, and I filtered down, say $500, maximum $1,000. So after looking around, I saw that these prices were ridiculous because I needed a 3 bedroom. And look at this studio from 2005 to 8,000, and it came at me that this makes no sense. Rent is crazy in Virginia, right? So I started narrowing it down to the areas that we are gonna be in, and it started looking a little better. But I'm like, 1 to 2 bedrooms, $1,800. That's like mortgage, right? And that's like a waste of resources. So I even went as far as filtering down to like a ridiculously cheap price. Like, let me see what's there. Minimum $700, maximum 900, because I'm trying to keep everything under 1,000. So I ended up with some results, right? So 1 bedroom. So even if my wife is there in a 1 bedroom, I can visit her, but can the kids visit her? We can't visit her properly if she's in a 1 bedroom, and that's just $1,000, and that's ridiculous, and that makes no sense, right? So when I call up some of these places and ask what was included in these 1 bedrooms, let's see what's included. So it's pretty much like a little all-in-one room with a little area for a bathroom, a little area for a kitchen, and then most of them were unavailable. See, unavailable. So even though they are listed, those are not available anywhere. So I checked a bunch of places, and it was ridiculous, right? And I even started calling around to friends that I have in Virginia, and they put me onto some places, and it was ridiculous. All right, it was like some crappy place that no one really wants to live in, like places that are, should I say, scary to live in, right? So I tried every possible thing that I could, and even like Zillow have apartments for rent, and look, everything is ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous. All right, this is a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and look how tiny this place is. Yeah, sure, it's a nice community, but then you can't have friends over, you can't have family over. It's just ridiculous. Yes, it's a good layout, but then it came to me that, you know what, let me just try and find somewhere to buy. Maybe let's try and find a cheap apartment. So that's what I started doing. So I kind of back out of all of this and just say, you know what, let me just move out from rent. So started on Zillow, change this from rent to for sale, and then things kind of start looking a little better. Right, we didn't want to spend a lot of money either, so we started narrowing down things to. So this is Virginia Beach. We wanted So stuff like this we started doing. Virginia Beach. Ah, come on. Right? And these are what we're finding, right? So 2 bedroom, 169,000 and stuff like that. And then so I look at it and I'm like, oh, so this mortgage is way cheaper than rent, right? And then you don't have to deal with the bullshit of people running your credit and you have to pay it 2 months down and stuff like that. So you can basically buy a house for nothing at all, right? So this is $900 and I'm ended up with at least a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom. But then I wanted more because you know my family is big. Because if I'm going to look for my wife, I'm gonna be taking the entire family with me, so we needed more space. So I started making my what do you call it? I started doing filters when I'm searching. So I go to more and I put in that I need a minimum of, let's see, parking. So I started saying, so like for this one, right? It's in HOA, so I'm looking like no HOA because I'm trying to make this as dirt cheap as possible, right? And I am putting in a price range of 100,000 to 200. But I really wasn't getting anywhere with that though, with anything that made sense. So this is a 3 bedroom that's showing up for 180,000, and that's in Portsmouth. So I'm like, great. I saw a lot of houses in Portsmouth, but then my friends are like, Portsmouth is not so much of a good idea. But anyway, the houses in Portsmouth were bigger and somewhat nice. Alright? So this is a fairly old house and it's fairly nice. Alright? And then so because my wife is stationed in Virginia Beach, traveling from Portsmouth is gonna be crazy traffic. She gotta go through toll and it's gonna be ridiculous. And then people is kind of like telling me not to buy anywhere in Portsmouth because that's a bad idea. So I kind of swayed my mind from Portsmouth and started looking into Chesapeake because when I was here on active duty in 2019, I stayed in Chesapeake. I had a 3 bedroom apartment for 2,500, but the military was paying for it at that time. But now that my wife is in a different situation because her contract, the military gives her what they call basic housing allowance, right? So now she has to go find her own apartment, pay her own bills, and everything like that. While with my contract, I was getting the basic allowance, housing allowance, but I was just putting that in my pocket, and then the military was paying for my apartment. So that's the contract that I was in. But it's kind of different for her because I'm a reservist. So once I volunteer for stuff, they kind of treat reservists different, special treatment, so to speak. So I got my money, put that in my pocket, and then they still paid me, paid for an apartment for me for 2,500, a 3 bedroom. So that's where we were in Virginia in 2019, 2020, when I was on active duty. Alright, so that's it, guys. So I started diving deeper into this house hunting thing when I saw that the renting thing made no sense. So I went as far as getting pre-approval, but the pre-approvals, they weren't all that bright. It was a small amount of money because my wife and I, we had just bought a house 2 years ago, and we just bought 2 new cars. So our resources were like down. And you know, the more money you spend, the lower your credit score gonna be, and then the less money you're gonna be able to borrow once your credit score is lower. So I end up starting working on my credit score. And guys, I'm gonna tell you how that work, but I'm gonna cut this video right here, and I'm gonna pick up on the other video and show you how I get my credits cleared up in order to buy the next house and the struggles that we went through in order to get everything. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and see you in the next house hunting video. Peace out.